Hey everyone, I wanted to do a quick flip of this Vintage Lady journal that I made for Josie Hancock. Hey Josie. Josie needed a partner in the Vintage Lady swap, so I said I would do that. Josie stepped in last fall for me when I lost my partner, so I was happy to do that. And Josie, I hope you like this. So I've used a book that I've altered. Um, it is just over 5 by about 7 1/4, and the spine is 1.5 inches. It was actually a horrible orange color, so I've painted it. And I've edged it in a bit of gold paint here. And this is black cherry paint that I've added a little bit of white to. It was really a deep burgundy without lightening it a little bit. So I thought it matched the pink in her dress. So I've just used a couple of book corners there. You can see that great vintage image just from Pinterest. And I was shopping for some trim for the upcoming Gypsy envelope swap, and got this tassel trim, and I just really thought it went with the image, and really just wanted to use it on Josie's journal. I've added it to the spine here just to add a little bit of interest, and really just to cover up the title. It was just some kind of crazy unknown, well, at least unknown to me book, so really didn't have any relevance. So I've just covered that up, and I was going to add a charm, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm thinking I just like it the way it is. So it's very chunky, as you can see, just held together with some seam binding with a couple of eyelets here, front and back. So let me try to get in this without tying a knot. There we go. So you can see how chunky that is. So I've just added some charms on some paper clips here and lots of tabs along the side, just to add a little bit of interest. So going inside, I've left the cover blank and thought that Josie could add a pocket or something if she wanted to. And the papers that I've used are the Kirby Teasdale line, K & Company pad, and some of the My Mind's Eye Lost and Found collection. So just a real kind of mixture, and I think there's actually a couple of other pieces in there somewhere as well. So just kind of left this front blank because a little bit busy here, and it gives Josie some space to do some of the things that she'd like on it. This is an envelope that just flips over, and that's a tuck spot. And I do have a few flowers in here that I have just glimmer misted to kind of tone the color a little bit. And you can see actually on the front, well, maybe you can't see, I don't know, a little bit maybe I've glimmer misted the image as well. So I've used that same throughout the book in just a few different places. I just love these vintage images. A little pocket here. These are Tsunami Roses library cards, journaling cards. I added just a little bit of trim here. A glassine bag with that same spray on it. I've used some lace as an additional pocket, and then just some one of the Vintage Lady tags with a little bit of lace at the top. Doily, some book paper. On some of the book paper, I've added pockets and so on. On others, I've just left it blank in case Josie wants to add something to it or gesso it so she can write or stamp on it. It's a tuck spot from Femmer's Vintage Garden, and I've just done a tag with a little bit of stamping. Little pocket here. These are the Michaels small white bags. With a tag and a little bit of stamping, a postcard in that bag. It's one of my new stamps. I'm really liking this, the edge stamp. It's a pocket, or sorry, an envelope from an Etsy seller. And all the images I have in here are found on Pinterest. So this is the other half of that bag, and I've just added a little bit of lace, a little bit of velvet, a little metal piece here that I got from Butterbee Scraps. Another one of Daisy Collins library cards. And just a little tuck spot here on some book paper. Doily. Those are just a few little end cuts that I thought Josie could use just to make some notes on. Another large tag with some stamping, and that's from the Sweet Paris line from Dove Crafts. I just added a couple of images at the bottom here. A lace pocket. Oh, that was out. That's actually one of my favorite images that I found. So that just goes in this bag, and it's just loose in there. And another little tuck spot, a doily, a couple of images here, another pocket, a little tag with some stamping and seam binding and some fibers. Just some paper that I folded over, added a little bit of trim to make a pocket. This is tracing paper that I've coffee dyed, added a little bit of trim to it, and inside I've just got an envelope that I made on my envelope punch board. Nothing in it. I thought Josie could add whatever she wanted to that. Liking that image. I think it's going to end up in my vintage sewing journal later on in the summer. On the other side of that pocket, I've just got a little small glassine envelope that I've added an image to, and another of the library cards from Daisy. There's 4 signatures, I think I forgot to mention. Another pocket, and that's from Tsunami Rose as well. So just lots of tuck spots and stamping and lots of place to write and journal. Belly band, and their image. Thought this was really cute. This is, it says, if you must do it, then take this to your barber. So I guess back in the 20s when all the girls were cutting their hair into a bob, they felt it necessary to show them exactly what they should be looking like so that the barber did it correctly, I guess. So another tag with some seam binding and fibers there. Another little lace pocket there. And just a tag here. And an image in that glassine bag with a little bit of lace trim there. And all the papers are coffee dyed. All this lined paper is from Ephemeris Vintage Garden. Oh, that came out. So there's another image, and this is actually a card that I've glued together to make into a pocket in the center of that signature. You can tell I tried to film this a little while ago and my camera shut off for whatever reason, so I forgot to go back and put everything back to where it was supposed to be. So I've just done a little bit of stamping, kind of so that all the pages weren't too blank looking throughout the journal. Journaling card there. Love this image. I found this after I did the first Vintage Lady journal that I did earlier, so really wanted to include that. I think that's a fantastic image. So just lots of space to write and journal and add things to. And this is the last signature. Another large pocket here, another big tag. This was actually meant to be a tuck spot, but I got carried away and put too much glue up the side here, and it ended up not being able to fit anything into it. So anyway, it's stuck down. It's just decoration now. This is a small envelope. It's a little tuck spot here, and can put some things in there. And this is another belly band. I've just added some metal to that, to the edges, and that's the same metal you saw at the beginning, and I've just cut that in half. Another pocket, another one of those tags, and you can see I've maybe you can't. I've glimmer misted over that and edged them all in that gold paint, the same that I've used on the front as well. Here's another of those envelopes. Creating a tuck spot here. This is another glassine bag, and I've just folded it up and added a few bits and pieces in there. This is a tuck spot. Envelope in the center of the signature. And another tuck spot with a tag. I've just done a bit of layering there. And just a journaling card there in that little lace pocket. And it's the end, and this is side pocket with just a bit of velvet and lace there. And that's the end. So, Josie, I hope you like it. I love doing this. I was really happy to have an opportunity to make another Vintage Lady junk journal. Really, I do hope you like it. I hope that trim isn't too crazy. I just really liked it, and I hope you do as well. Thanks for joining me, everyone.